Hello and welcome along to a very special episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 185 today, but it is also the final regular episode of this long, successful series. We finish our 20th season, hopefully in style, with a Welsh Cup Final against Barrytown United. We'll see which Welsh side qualifies for Europe through the playoff at the end of the season, and then in the comments at the end of it, this save will be available to you if you want to take over. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We've also, though, got a few special episodes coming towards the end of this week. We're going to do our final bookmark of the series at the 20-year mark, look at some of the stuff off the pitch and behind the scenes. And on Friday, we'll have our 5 years in the future episode. We'll find out all of that later this week, but first we've got to finish off the series. So if you're looking forward to this episode and the final game with Bangor City, managed by me, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily content for the rest of this week. We've talked about our plans there. And then we're just a week or so away from FM22. The plans video's up in the eye above. And there's an awful lot to look forward to. A massive thank you for your support. I hope you're looking forward to that. But today, we've got to try and finish in style. Because I don't want it to end on a defeat, most importantly. But also, I don't want that disappointment of it being a boring 1-0 or something. I want to go out in style. There is a little bit of disappointment. I know he shouldn't have made the squad on merit, but I really wanted Tom Jones to be involved today. The record league appearance holder for the club, the first real star out of our academy. Unfortunately, he's out injured, as is Dean Simmons, the right back. Barrytown United missing their best player in Jack Delaney going forward. So actually, it could end up being underwhelming. But let's have a quick look at our results since you were last with me. It has been a historic season. We did reach the Champions League quarter-final for the first time. TNS, the first Welsh side aside from us to reach a European quarter-final this year. But of course, those of you that were here yesterday know it ended in disappointment. Since then, though, 2 big victories, a 6-1 win against Cardiff Met Uni, a late red card for Jack Chapman in that one, but they'd already had a red after Kian Bulkley had got 1, Danny Gomez Garcia had wrapped up a hat-trick, and Bojan Kvara got 2 late goals. The second of those coming after Jack Chapman's red card. And a 4-1 win against today's opponents, Barrytown United. 2 for Kvara, 2 for Kian Bulkley. And you guys will have to let me know if you take over. It might be Bulkley's last game as well. He's still got that minimum fee release. I don't know what sort of new deal he'd agree. He won't let us get rid of that stepping stone bit. Let's see what he wants. No, he's not willing to increase it. So 27.5 million from any club. And Europe's golden boy leaves Bangor City. So that could be disappointing. But for now, we've got a Welsh Cup final to get through. We'll do the season review afterwards. It won't be too in-depth because we know we've got the bookmark to come. But again, I just want to point out something in particular. TNS, quarterfinals in Europe. Loads of money coming in. They've bottled second place again. This time on goals scored. But still, I'm so angry with them in this save. If they could have been dominant early on when we were throwing away titles and when we were in the second tier, TNS really could have made a go of it in this save. But they have constantly underachieved domestically. And even when they haven't won trophies, or we haven't, it's largely been Barrytown United that have done it. And for the first 10 years, that was semi-pro v pro, so there's no excuse whatsoever. For us though, an opportunity to go out in style. Let's see the lineup we've picked for this game. We'll get through, change what the assistant recommends. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, I don't think we can change too much. Of course, Nenov has to come in today at right back because of that Simmons injury. But largely, I want to keep the players that have been so good in the last couple of years for the large part. Young Nathan Roberts is on the bench. We're going to get a final appearance with the new young star. We'll probably take over from one of the older ones in a not too distant future. You can keep me updated on that. But to be honest, I expect this lineup to win handsomely. We'll see if they can. It's Roberto Simancas between the sticks, Nenov and Fletcher at fullback, Briones and Jennings at centre-half, Mubarak Whelan really wrapped up that spot just in front of them. Reyes and Reddy the middle of the diamond, Kyo Bulkley the number 10. The last time we're going to see him as well. What a player he's been for us. Genuinely world class. And then Kian Bulkley and Bojan Kvara up front. 1 more for Kvara and he's got 50 for the season. 2 for Bulkley and he's got 35. And 1 for Nathan Roberts or Gomez Garcia off the bench. And they move into double figures too. So let's get into the game. Our final one in charge of Bangor City. Almost feels like an emotional moment, an end of an era. Well, I think maybe the nicest sign of progress. I know we've mentioned before about season ticket sales and complained about that a little this season. But for this Welsh Cup final, there are 7,500 fans in the stadium for a domestic game. That is incredible for Welsh football. It's a shame the attendances haven't followed elsewhere. We've got to be happy with it. And against Barrytown United, probably our best dance partner. They stopped us in the first season in this very fixture. Our first season finished with a Welsh Cup final against Barrytown United. Our 20th and final season is finishing exactly the same way. It's exactly what you'd want to see, isn't it? Barrytown United, for everything that TNS have failed to do in this series, Barrytown United have pushed a little, given the resources they had at the start. As Kyo Bulkley tries to get in early doors, it's one back and cleared long downfield to Briones. 7 minutes on the clock, and of course you would expect us to break them down eventually. But are we going to have that one miracle bad day? Reddy gets the ball to Reyes. Doesn't look like it so far as Ruben Reyes goes in. He's put it into the near side netting. I thought he was going to go across the keeper, but doesn't do that in the end. As Fletcher's got a throw at left back to Mubarak Whelan. Already looking like it's going to be a barrage of attacks. Through ball to Kavara. His volley's well off target. I've not seen him miss one by that much for a while. 10 minutes gone, no shots on target. We've certainly had the better chances. Been a good performance so far. We want to get that first goal soon because we do want to get a convincing victory to finish off. But Barrytown United have been resilient throughout this save and they're proving so again so far. As with half an hour on the clock now, still struggling to break them down, we've got a throw on the right hand side which falls to Kyo Bulkley, puts in Kavara who shots down to the keeper's right. It's a good save to be honest. They're saying that Kavara looks a little nervous out there and it has not been the vintage display we expected. 5 minutes to half time, these boys are letting us down. Maybe they don't know we're retiring. Maybe they don't know we're leaving. But so far, this could be a banana skin because it's 0-0 at the break. We've not had many opportunities. So my final half-time team talk is actually to point the finger at the lads and say, do you actually want this? Are you actually going to turn up for the big game? Because bar Marcus Reddy and maybe Brett Jennings, we've not had any standout performers. Into the second half we go against Barrytown United. And it's going to end in exactly the way I didn't want, isn't it? A boring 1-0, a very tight, tense game, and not much quality on show. We reached the hour mark. There's not even been a highlight this half. There's not been a shot on target. And now it's a Barrytown United corner. It could finish even worse. Zamankis comes and claims the corner to try and prevent that. But it does not look promising at the moment. As he goes long downfield towards Kavara, who loses it in the air. Reddy finds Kyo Bulkley though, releases Bojan Kavara. He'd be a fitting goal scorer, but it's tipped wide by McNamee. Brilliant goalkeeping. We said he was a big upgrade in January, and he's proven so today already. 2 good saves from our star striker. Ball into the back post from the corner, beats everybody. Jennings chases it out to the wing. We've got to make changes. We've got 25 to go. We look all over the place, to be honest. I'm going to bring on Nathan Roberts for Ruben Reyes, and I'm going to drop Kyo Bulkley into the diamond. I'm going to bring on Lloyd Goulding for Kyo Bulkley because he's the proven scorer. I don't know what to do with a third, actually. I was saying I was going to bring on Odell, but I don't know if that helps us. I might take off Kyo Bulkley. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes, but Gomez Garcia's waiting in the wings, and we've also got to think he is the most reliable penalty taker as well. So maybe that's a move we can go for. In fact, I'm going to go for Briones backs. We had a free kick there. I don't know what's happened. We've scored the goal. And that could be the perfect end to the series. Missing the final goal because we were trying to make a tactical change and talking to a substitute. Lloyd Goulding puts it in. Let's go and look at the replay. It's a simple free kick in from Bulkley. No one tracked the run. Simple as you like. It is almost the perfect ending, isn't it? Reddy's now got a knock, so I was going to drop him in at centre half. We'll just take him off and bring on Gomez Garcia. What a wonderful cup final. We didn't see the only goal. It's not been a great performance. And with 5 minutes to go, it looks like it's going to end in the most boring way possible. Nathan Roberts picks it up in a centre circle though. The new young star gets it short to Gomez Garcia, out to Fletcher. But again, the passing not quite crisp enough. Doesn't go into his path. He has to break his stride to go backwards. And that's the disappointment. It's not been a fluent performance to finish. Gomez Garcia to Fletcher on the left-hand side. Barrytown United leaving 2 up front, pressing high. We've broken it. Gomez Garcia to Bojan Kavara. And he's brought down in the box. Kavara will take the penalty kick. He's not had a good game and I do not fancy him from this. But let's see if he can deliver from the spot. Kvara versus McNamee. Oh my word, did not even hit the target. We have seen plenty of penalties saved in this series. I've not seen many put 10 yards wide. Awful from Bojan Kvara. And just as I said 10 minutes ago, we would hate for our career to finish in this way. It's exactly what's happened. A 1-0 victory against Barrytown United. We do wrap up the domestic treble. But my word, it was a shocking game. It was a poor performance. And I wouldn't say we were lucky to win. We had more chances. We certainly didn't flatter ourselves. It's a Welsh Cup Final win to finish on. But my word, I can't say I'm not underwhelmed. It looked for a large part it'd be an underwhelming season. We ended up making history in Europe. But that was not the way we wanted it to finish. And here is the end of season review. Season 20 with Bangor City. Only finishes with 3 trophies instead of 4 because we did have disappointment in the SPFL Trophy semi-final. However, we've still got 3. We made history in the Champions League in reaching the last 8. And that will help the coefficient no end moving forward. But this was a historic season in the end. Us and TNS reaching European quarterfinals. And us doing it in the Champions League too. We couldn't have asked for more at the start. And for a long time, it looked like that wasn't going to happen. Yes, the transfer windows were disappointing. TNS again domestically was shocking. But still, there are moments to enjoy. Let's go and have a look at the end of season review. It was Bangor City in the summer. Signed Ian Simmons permanently. It worked out perfectly. He was a brilliant signing. He was one of the best performers in the team. 12 assists in 31 starts. Shame he was injured for the final game, but a cracking player nonetheless. And actually all the signings really contributed this year. Odell, often involved in the squad, even dropping in at centre-half quite a lot. That was because Chapman came in a holding role. Director of football found him, and he's been a great signing. And then Marcus Tranter, on loan, did exactly the job we needed of him. Loans out, I just want to point out A. Tate, who's not actually listed there because it was a renewed loan. He was brilliant for TNS. Ruben Bates is the one that's fascinating. We talked about it being the weirdest loan signing ever. And he only actually made 3 appearances for them. I don't get why they got him in. And he's definitely good enough to start for them, so it baffles me, to be honest. Ludomir Strom did quite well. 14 million we got for him. He's gone to Brentford and been a rotation option. Harvey Lloyd doing okay at Gladbach, got a couple of assists. And then at Nantes, it was Quinn Morgan, who, one of our youth stars that went for big money. Didn't think he'd be the first one. But he had an okay season and did contribute for them. Let's have a look at the season results. We did finish invincible in the league, albeit with that one blotch early on against Barrytown United. But after the last 2 years, lovely to go unbeaten. Carmarthen shocking the odds to get 4th place. Now we need one of the professional sides to get into Europe. If Colwyn Bay do it, I think that's the best opportunity for everyone. And actually, I've just noticed some positives there too. The average home attendance over 3,000. I think that might be a first. The Champions League, we got to the quarterfinals, but disappointment against PSG. That famous win in Paris gave us too much hope. And in the end, it just dwindled in the second leg. The SPFL Trust Trophy, a disappointment. We weren't convincing at any stage. We struggled through against Dundee United. We were okay against Elgin and Falkirk. We never really looked dominant. And I guess it's ironic really that we went out in the one game not being played in the international break. Albeit we were resting everyone for Inter at the time. We won the Welsh Cup. You saw the underwhelming final earlier in this episode. And then in the League Cup, bar the Cardiff Met Uni semi-final, which was almost a shock and deserved to be one. To be honest, it was pretty comfortable the other 4 games, particularly the final against TNS. So generally good performances all round, just the SPFL trophy that was a tad disappointing. The biggest win was a 9-1 victory against Connors Quay. Match to remember, 7-2 against Cardiff Met Uni. No, nothing like the big turnaround, the 4-0 against Inter to make history. Don't worry about that one. And the 3-0 win at TNS produced goal of the season. And that was a free kick from Gethin Davis. So, a bit surprised to see a free kick up there when we scored plenty of other good goals. But we'll take it. Financially, of course, we've mentioned before, a lot of the broadcast revenue and the prize money we get from the unallocated European coefficient pool at the end of the year. So it will overtake this year because it's the first time we've reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But really good season overall. We have gone up to 3.5-star reputation at last. We matched the league. Kyo Bulkley still the top selling shirt. Kian not far behind. Also Gordon Kvara and Mubarak Whelan, another one of the homegrown players who's right up there. Let's go on to the how we lined up. What's their best 11? So Gethin Davis gets in actually. Aside from that, is the exact 11 we would have picked. And I know Reddy played in a few different positions. Probably his rating in the games at centre half let him down. Gomez Garcia had a poor start to the year and a lot of injuries. And to be honest, no one else really stood out enough. So I can understand why that lineup was picked. And don't forget, Gethin Davis was often playing number 10 or taking free kicks against the worst opposition for the backup team. So he was obviously getting a better rating as a result. The accolades. Most league appearances by a player. 370 now from Tom Jones. Kane Walters increased his goal record. Only added 3 or 4 this year, but up to 183 now. And then our highest ever transfer fee received was for Ludimir Srom of 14 million. Despite being awful in the cup final we just saw, Kvara did get most of the awards come the end of the year. Young player and fans player of the season, as well as top goal scorer with 49. Most assists goes to Kyo Bulkley. Goal of the season we saw to Gethin Davis. Signing of the season, Dion Simmons. I don't think anyone's questioning that. Bulkley got the highest average rating, and Mubarak Whelan with a very weird club award. Most passes completed per 90 minutes. That seems a little bit odd. But he's officially a wonder kid, developing and coming on leaps and bounds. He's someone a lot of you will enjoy managing. History in the making as we get our treble. We get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It's a fitting way to finish our series. We're going to skip through this playoff and see who gets the final European spot in Wales. And then, down in the comments, the save will be over to you. Well, here it is. The European Places playoff final is between Colwyn Bay and maybe surprisingly Swansea University. Cardiff Met Uni really struggling since they've lost Delaney to Barrytown United. They'll probably lose Paul Roberts, their other star striker, in the summer too. But for now, we need Colwyn Bay to win this, because for you guys, if you choose to take on the save, you want 5 professional sides in Europe. Let's see if for the first time in this save, that can happen. Wow, it doesn't just happen, it happens in style. The big man David Johnson got a goal. What a player he is. Best in the league outside our club, I think. Deutsch, starting to come good. Now, possibly transfer listed, actually. Don't quite understand that. Barrytown United going after him makes sense. Yeboah scores a goal. He's a good centre midfielder. Another one of those stronger signings in recent years. And then this man, Solomon, has been an absolute stalwart of the team for years. 142 league appearances, goals and big performances in Europe too. He's a good centre half. He's not got all the attributes, but he's always been a consistent performer. So that is what it will look like for anyone who wants to take over the save. If we go to the Welsh Premier League, you will have another season of history. 5 professional sides from Wales, all in European football competitions. And Bangor City will be top of the tree. So if you want to, the save is down below in the comments. You can take over from this point. It's been a wonderful save. It just leaves me to thank you all for coming and joining along. 185 episodes later, we say farewell to Bangor City. If you did enjoy this final part, despite the underwhelming cup final to finish, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on, because we've got a couple of specials in the next 2 days, as we've mentioned. We've got the final 5-year bookmark of the series, as well as the 5 years in a future episode to come. And then later on, FM22 content, probably just over a week away from the beta now. I can't wait. The plans video is in the eye above. The link to the Twitch channel where we'll have daily live streams from the beta is in the eye above. Please do go and check out the video. Follow us over on Twitch. We're going to be going FM22 nuts when the beta comes out. I hope you'll come and join me for it. A massive thank you for your support this year. It really is greatly appreciated. The second long-term story has come to an end, but you guys can take the journey further. If you do, come and join us in the Discord channel. Send us screenshots of how you've got on, and more importantly, how the other Welsh clubs get on too. Come and let me know your progress updates over in the comments here too. And I'll see you tomorrow for the final 5-year bookmark as this series comes towards an end.